What up, what up, what up, you guys? It's Blackwing 2040. Welcome back to the channel, and I'm gonna be doing a tier list. I'm back to doing tier lists, but I'm not the only one here that's gonna be joining me. I got my good friend here, JKing. JKing, introduce yourself to the folks at home for those who don't know who you are.
Right. So I am JKing from the Jedi Mike 7 Movie News channel. You might have also seen me on other channels like Team JVS. And while over there on those channels, I will talk about the worlds of Marvel, DC, etc. I am also a huge Tokusatsu fan. I've been a fan of Power Rangers since I was a kid, discovered Super Sentai around the time of Go Busters, I believe it was. And then I just got entrenched into Rider and Ultraman. Like, again, ask me about most Tokus, not just including the big three. I've practically seen a good bunch at this point in my life. But yeah, this is another section of my life y'all don't really see that much.
Love to see it spreading the Toku word. I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it.
Hmm.
So, folks, the things that we're going to be ranking today, we are going to be ranking or doing a tier list on is Sentai suits. We're going to be doing from every suit from Goranger all the way to Gozyuger. And as you can see here from our tier list, we have all 50 teams, a few miscellaneous stuff, but we're not gonna talk about those. But so how we rank things here, we're gonna be doing four categories: goat, raw, mid, trash. Goat being best of the best, raw being runner up, mid being average, and of course trash being worst of the worst. So we're gonna just get things started going headway with Go Ranger. JKing, what are your thoughts on the Go Ranger suits?
The Goranger suits are a very, very interesting thing to talk about because, again, this is where it all started. They took the concept of Common Rider and split it up against five. So you see some of those aspects within the first Super Sentai team. And I feel like definitely the suits later on, specifically, these suits have been refined to look a lot better. But if you look back at the original show, I like them. They're not my favorites. There's a lot of things that I like that get incorporated into later suits that I really enjoy, and they all looked great together. But it's weird because it's like I say the only one, in my personal opinion, that does work without the others is, of course, Aka Ranger, because the leader, and it's just you see him a lot separately from his team, and it does work. I guess it's a Red Ranger thing, but it's like, yeah, apart it seems weird, but together the five Go Rangers, I would probably put in Raw just because they're what started it all. They're what started this trend of what we have now over 50 years. And while it's not the best and things definitely are refined later, you can't go wrong with these suits. So I got to put it in Raw.
I agree. Again, the only thing that not really annoys me. It's just like you said, the Kamen Rider type bug eyes on the visors, and but sometimes even when we get Toku media with these suits in HD quality, because most people know these suits are just being it from the 1975 and just how different of a time of media the camera work was back then. But looking at them in like HD quality, when you see them in like say Gokaiger or Zenkaiger or Superhero Taizen, it's just like they still look clean and they still look pretty solid. So I will put these suits in Raw as well. All right, next up we got Jaka. So five different Ranger suits, one being like specific, having like a wild card design. The other four basically designed helmets with cards with Spade, Jack, Heart, and Clover. Um, very different. Of course, these also have capes. Pink suit is the first. This is the first time we get a female suit that actually has a skirt. Of course, nowadays and now going forward, every Pink Ranger suit will have a skirt or just like a specific like one piece design depending on what era of Sentai it was. But what are your thoughts on the Jaka suits?
Yeah. See, again, in a similar sense to Go Ranger, there's a lot that I like here. I think the one that will stand out, and I think it's because he always stands out, is Big One. His design, you could almost say, was sort of the prototype. And again, because the prototype is in a later show, but the prototype to what you would get with something like a special or a sixth Ranger, even though he technically is the fifth member and technically later becomes the commander of the team. But yeah, it's like it's weird because it's like you again, just like Go Ranger, you see a lot of things that will get incorporated into Sentai suits later that are definitely done a lot better later. But if I were to put these up against the Go Ranger suits, I'd probably go with the Goranger suits. I don't dislike these suits at all, but I would probably, if you separated Big One, he would be in Raw. But if you got them all together, sorry, I'm gonna have to go mid.
I agree. Big One is definitely the standout suit here. So it's just like if you did if if they designed the other suits to be like Big One, I'm pretty sure they would have like a substantial existential
Hmm.
design. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'll definitely put the Jacka suits in Raw. I mean in mid.
Yeah.
So
Admit, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Which
So
it's kind of funny. The ones that are the main team have to take a long ass time in a fucking tube, but the big ones just
Big
instant.
One's just a rose like here. Transform. I'm like, wow. Okay. All right. So next up we have Battle Fever J. Now, again, different type of suits. Each one is representing a country. Not some. Yeah, they all have scarves. I I know most people don't like lips on Ranger suits. Lips never bothered me on Ranger suits at all. But I don't know what it is about these suits that just make me go just they're right. I mean, just by looking at them, they're pretty mid to me. That's basically it. I don't really. They're not bad. They're just meh. What would you say?
No, I have to agree. These suits are just, and I think I know what's the problem here is that it's the problem is for me personally isn't the lips because it's like this is honestly what started Sentai helmets having lips, and I really don't mind that. My problem is just most of everything else because most of these suits are like outside of two are like a white bodysuit with the symbol of the country, and then the only thing that's distinguished with the color is unless it's in the symbol is within the helmet, and it just looks weird in some instances. Again, orange and black are the ones that feel a little bit better, and I think blacks is definitely my favorite out of the group. But it's still weird in that instance. And then we don't even want to freaking talk about Miss America. Why was hair added to a helmet? It's like, and if you wanted to do hair, why didn't you just mold it as the helmet? You got a wig. You got a wig. It's probably the big thing that takes this freaking team down for me is just the hair. But yeah, no, I'd oh my god.
Talk
Wow,
about
we're
the
kind of go-
talk about the elephant in the room. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I will have to say these are definitely not my favorites. I don't know if I would say these are my least favorites, but for me personally, this is definitely going in trash. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
in
I am sorry,
trash.
but I had to.
I'm like, I say mid, but trash. Ooh, like I said,
Look.
lips don't bother me on the helmets at all.
Mhm.
Lips never bother me. But it's just, all right. Once you brought up the feature about the wig, I'm just like, ooh, right, the wig. Yeah, that
Yeah,
is
sorry,
just
Jack. Sorry, sorry, Battle Fever J fans, but it's like again, and it's not just even the hair. As I said, it's the lack of color in some instances, except for orange and black. You
right,
got one suit that just don't look right, and two that are devoid, almost devoided of color, and then two that don't look bad, with one of them being my favorite. But it's just that the two doesn't outweigh the three that don't look good.
right, right. All right, let's move on to Denji Man. So funny enough, I like how these suits are designed. How you have the not numbered, but like the stripe designation on the chest, the technological aspect in the helmets. Um, of course, the team symbol, the D on the hearts, on like where their heart should be. It's a very interesting, dynamic style of a suit. So, and of course, I mean, pink shade is a little bit lighter. It's a very heavy faded shade pink. But besides that, they're pretty cool. And of course, on top of that, the gloves, they get silver gloves. Of course, I know in combat they get a special weapon where they have fists to do, the Denji punch. But I like these suits. I really do like these suits. I will put these suits in Raw. What would you say?
Hmm. personally, I really do like the Denji man suits as well. Again, Pink's is definitely not the greatest. It really felt like somebody had a good color of it, but then they threw it in the washing machine and
And
forgot to
put
take it
bleach in the
out after a
machine.
certain and put bleach in there. Yes, it feels like they put bleach in the washing machine by accident, and they're like, "Oh, um,
We forgot to take it
go
out.
to filming." Yeah, so like that one takes it down just like a bit, but I would still put these in raw because there's a lot about Denji Man that I really like in terms of its like suit design. So yeah, definitely for me in raw, especially after Battle Fever J.
Yep. Next up, we got Sun Vulcan. Only 3 Ranger suits. I like these suits. I genuinely like these suits, and especially if you have the animal designation on the helmets for each of the Rangers: Eagle, Shark, Panther. It's simple. They all have scarves. It's simple. I like it. It's sometimes simple is good. Simple is good. This is just a perfect example of like what simplicity can do for these suits. I wouldn't say they're GOAT, but definitely raw though. I would definitely put these suits in raw. What would you say?
Y- Yeah, I have to go with Ratsu again. Our first time that we have only 3 Rangers, and weirdly our one and only time that we have no female Ranger within the group. But in terms of just the designs of the suits, I really do like these. And again, this is also, I mean, yeah, no, this is also our first animal themed Sentai.
Right,
Like this
right.
is our first animal one, and it's like for what they were going for. Again, it gets refined later, but for what they're going for here, it's not bad, and I would definitely put it within Raw.
Absolutely. I agree. All right. Next up is Goggle 5. I don't know about these. I feel like these suits have. Hmm, I don't know what they were going for. But also keep in mind, I didn't watch the season, but just like seeing these
Mhm.
suits, like anytime I just see Goggle 5 as a whole, I'm just like, again, their suits are just pretty meh to me. They're very meh. Each of their helmets have like has a specific gemstone in them, and I don't know if I feel like they're like a different. I feel like these suits could be like a different representation of Goranger just by the way how the team pose is a little bit similar to them, but well, not even almost alike. But I don't know. It's just like their suits are just again another pair of suit, another team suit that's just very meh.
I have to look. I think I know for me personally, like what the problem is with these suits. I like the helmets for this team. I really do like the helmets and the gemstone. But I think the problem is that, and it honestly feels like somebody was feeding their baby while also designing the suits because it looks
The
like
bibs.
bibs. Like it looks like they were feeding their baby while trying to design the suits, and then they accidentally drew a bib, and they're like, "Huh, that's
Let's keep
genius."
that.
Also, personally, I call these guys the Ribbon Rangers, and you know why. But
Yep.
yeah, no, it's just the big giant like out of nowhere bit, and it wouldn't hurt if they had like added some like I don't know some design into it, but no, it's just a giant white bib, and it's like it just feels out of place. If it wasn't for the bib, I'd probably like these suits a bit more if it had like a different design, like a different body design. But no, I'm gonna have to put this in mid.
I agree. I agree. All right, next up is Dynaman. For those who don't know, Dynaman was originally supposed to be a baseball themed season. When you look at the suits, they're very with the baseball helmets and the baseball suit aesthetic. And then they turn around and just like, oh no, the team is basically gonna their power source is basically explosions. So I'm just like, okay. Now the helmets are cool. Again, the suits, again, like I said, the design pretty much is a baseball team. I just don't know how I feel about just the like if it I wonder I'm trying to see like if they originally stuck with the baseball theme and what they were gonna do with the show. Like I said, I never watched Dynaman, so I wouldn't know. But I'm wondering what it would have been like if they stuck with the baseball theme instead of the explosion aspect. But I like the helmets, but it's just the suits are just I might want to put them in trash. I mean, again, simple, but it's just like when you have a show with a certain theme, but you change the theme and then you look at the suits, like the theme doesn't, like they both don't mix. It's like this is one where it does not mix or it doesn't make sense. I may have to put like Dynaman in trash.
Hmm. Well, I mean, I was gonna go for mid because it's like I personally I think this and another team that we'll get to like in a little bit. Like it's simple and there's not a lot going to it. And yes, you could definitely see when you think about it, like, oh yeah, this looks more like a baseball team than one that's just like. But yeah, no, I get. There's something about these suits that I think maybe it has to be the helmet that I really like about these suits. The body is not bad. It definitely has a strong presence of their primary colors, which is the little bit of white being the sleeves and the pants. But I mean, I wouldn't put this in trash. I would not put these in the same realm as Battle Fever J. I would say that these are definitely in mid.
Mid is like is a tie between mid and trash for me. It's just like in
Mhm.
between. It's like low mid or like high trash. It's just like in between. I mean, I'll for now I'll just put them in mid, but
Mhm.
I don't like these suits. I don't.
Yeah.
All right, next up is Bioman. I feel like these suits have too much going on for it with the technological aspects and the technology patches on the chest. The helmets are okay with the tech with the electronics inside, but it's the chest that's not doing it for me. And then the other designs, like with the gloves and the boots are fine, but then you also have these whites, as you can see, the white circles on, like, say, the shin, not the shin guards, but like the almost around like where the triceps are supposed to be of the suits, and then of course where the thighs are with those white circles. I don't know. It's just that's what's ruining it for me. What would you say?
Um. Well, I mean, I definitely do think that outside of the helmet, it is a bit over designed. Especially, I think it's especially the chest. I get what they're going for with the chest, like, and what they were doing with it within the white area. Again, something that honestly, it's honestly a little too much though in some instances, and it's weird because we got freaking one suit with just a bib that has no design in it, but then you got another that within almost a similar parameter, but just not looking like a bib, is a little too over designed. I think if it was just a little bit less and you kept the technology, like the actual technical aspects in the helmet, that would be perfectly fine. I do have a little bit of a soft spot for this team because again, like this is the first team with two female rangers on it.
Right,
Like
right.
it took this long to do that.
It took
Um
eight seasons for them to
eight
get that.
seasons. Yeah, but besides that point though, I would probably put this in a it's again nowhere near bad for me. I would put this in like low mid.
I might put these in trash. It
Yeah, I get you.
it has like too much going on.
Mhm.
All right, so next up is Change Man. One thing that bugs me about Change Man of just how obscure this color lineup is, just with red, black,
Yes.
blue, white, and pink. I'm just like, you have almost all three primary colors, but no Yellow Ranger. Like, all right, and then you choose red, black, blue, pink, and white, and that's the most obscure color lineup I've ever seen in my life. Now, granted, the helmets are fine. The helmets are
Mhm.
fine. Um, I think these suits are okay. Again, I haven't watched Change Man yet, but
Mhm.
it's okay. I would probably put these suits in mid. The helmets are cool. It's just like the overall suits itself. It's just, again, the white pieces just look like parachute vests, kind of, in a way. But what are your thoughts on the Changeman suits?
Honestly, thinking about it now, I feel like what they were doing is that they were in terms of the colors, they had okay, we have a red ranger, we have a blue ranger. Let's go for black this time instead of green. And then they wanted to do maybe they wanted to do white and yellow or something like that. But and they thought of the white ranger, first female white ranger too. But then they were like, it feels weird not having pink on a team. Let's put pink there. But it's like, but white already has a bit of pink. You know how like some instances, like
Yep,
even recently with freaking Gozyuger, even though we
yep.
have a female black ranger, there's accents of pink within their suits.
Yep.
It feels like something like that, but then they were like, oh no, we had to have something that's specifically pink, and it just throws off everything. Again, I do like the helmets and I do like the emblem for this team, but I don't know. I don't hate these suits, but I don't love them at the same time. It's very weird. I get what they're going for, but it's very weird, honestly.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I don't know. Where would you put it?
I put them in. They're not trash. I put them. I'll put them in mid just to.
Yeah, mid too, mid.
Yep. Now, Flashman. Okay. This is another example of simple is good. Simplicity of these suits look so good. I like how they have a space feel to it. They kind of look like spacesuits, and the helmets look great with, of course, the goggles coming down and up as well. A good aesthetic for the helmets. I like these suits. They look like they look like straight spacesuits, even though Flashman is not typically a space themed season. But I really do like these suits. I would. They're like. They're like raw / low goaded for me. That's the thing. But what would you say about the Flashman suits?
Nah, these suits, like as you said, sometimes simple is good, and that's why I have a huge soft spot for Flashman. And I haven't had a chance to watch Flashman yet, but I will just say these are definitely one of my favorite Showa era Super Sentai suits, just because of how, again, how little, but how, again, little is good in some instances. And this is definitely good, and not only just the primary colors being the focus with hints of black and white in there. The helmets look good to me. And again, I can't get over how the set goggle, kind of almost a precursor to Go Busters in a sense.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah, yeah. So I would definitely say, like, for me personally, even though these are simple, this goes raw.
It's like raw / goat for me. It's like they're in between there. All right,
Hmm.
next up we got Mask Man. Now, it's interesting about the Mask Man suits. I forgot to mention this. For the ladies, this is the not the first time because Momo Ranger had, I believe her suit had earrings on the helmets. But for both ladies, they have earrings for the helmets. Again, this is another team where simple goes well. They have the number 5. For those who don't know, Mask Man was originally going to be called 5-Man, but I guess they changed the name. Haven't watched Mask Man yet. But they look raw for sure. I would definitely, and of course, this is the first martial arts themed Sentai as well. But I'm just like, these they just something's like something is cooking with these suits. Really, just like Toei was cooking with these, not goaded, but I would definitely put these suits in raw. What would you say?
No, yeah, these are definitely going in raw for me. And again, it's yeah, as you said, it's another simple is good team. And while personally I wouldn't say it's better than Flashman, I will say that what they're going for here, again, strong presence of the primary color with an accent color here. The helmet's not my favorite, but they're not bad. The number 5, again, the reasoning why, and I wish that if anything they maybe would have changed that, because it's weird to have just this random number 5 on every single one of them when it has no logical reason to, other than if you know you know. But it's like, outside of that, I do like these suits. Though I don't know, I like them, but I'm in between raw and mid for it. Like, I don't hate these suits, but I like these suits, but they're not my favorites.
I agree. I would definitely in raw. I would definitely put these suits
Mhm.
in raw. Now we get to the final suits of the Showa era, Live Man. These suits are, I'm just going around and say it, these suits are goated. I love these
Yes,
suits.
yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
These literally, it is, if you would ask me what's the best Sentai Showa suits, Live Man is one of them. It's definitely up there.
Mhm.
I would put Live Man up there. Flash Man would be in the runner up because I've seen Live Man, and even when I was watching Gozyuger for the first time, like a few years back, like back when I was in college, um, just seeing the Live Man suits, I'm just like, these suits are from 1988. And when you look at them in a show that's from 2011, they still look clean and they still look so dope. So just just the animal design of it, just the animal aesthetic, just again simple, and it still looks amazing. The helmets are beautiful. Blue also has earrings on her helmet as well. It looks amazing, just straight up amazing. I love them.
Like I have to agree. There's a and again, Live Man for me, at least as of the moment of this recording, is like the oldest Sentai show that I've seen, and I've seen it recently. So I have to say, it's just like I really like this season, and it has a lot of firsts. Like, I mean, it's not the first animal themed, but it's probably the first animal themed Sentai in terms of the suits that I really like. First female Blue Ranger, first time that you bring in 2 extra Rangers to join the core team, something that would again get refined in other shows as well. And again, it's just they look good. Again, if you were to tell somebody, okay, what era is this from? Like, what era in Japan is this from? They probably hover between Showa and Heisei just
9 out of
because
10, I
they
feel like
look.
people would say Heisei, but
Yeah, 9 out of
it's
10
because
people
it's like
would say
really at the
Heisei.
cusp. It's like the cusp at the end of the show era.
Yeah, but it's like the reasoning I would say that besides that point is just because they look that good and they still hold up to this day. Like they still hold up amongst the other like animal themed Sentai that we would get later. They really hold up in terms of design.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's why they're goaded. That's
hmm
enough said about the live man suits. Goaded. All right, now we move on to the first of the Heisei era and the first car theme season, Turbo Ranger. I say these suits are mid. I'm pretty mid
Yeah.
on these suits. Like,
hmm
I get what they were trying to go for with, again, first race car theme season, or you're not race car, just the first car theme season, period.
hmm
Haven't watched Turbo Ranger yet, but it's just like mid. I know how some of the colors, I mean, some of the outlines of the suits to make it look like, it doesn't bleed in when you look at yellow turbo, but
hmm
it's just, again, it's eh. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
It's just pretty eh.
Yeah,
I
no,
feel like they're not trash, but they're just, again, mid.
yeah. Yeah, no, these are mid. Again, they're not trash, but it's like we definitely get better vehicle themed Sentai suits. Like not even that far off from when these suits came out. It's just like it's weird. It's very weird. I think the weirder part for me is just the helmets. Again, I get it, but it just don't look right. It
Mm-hmm.
just don't look right. The suit for the most part is not bad. It's just the helmet is a little weird, honestly. I don't really like it that much. I would have to put these in mid.
Mm-hmm. I agree. All right, first suit of Sentai suits of the 90s, 5-man. I like these suits. I know 5-man is not the best well received show, but I actually do like these suits. These suits are kind of raw. And even with just how simple they are, and again, I give all credit to Gokyger for actually showing a lot of the like Showa and early Heisei suits in like HD quality. And when I saw the 5-man suits in like HD, I'm just like, oh, these suits look clean, not goaded, but I definitely would say these suits are pretty raw. And also, again, yellow. I think. Oh yeah, this is the last time we would have female ranger suits with earrings. Yellow and pink they have earrings in their helmets.
Yeah,
But
yeah, no, it stopped here, and thank
yeah,
God,
this
because
that
I
was like
understand
no more
why, but it
earrings and
was weird.
helmets. I'm just like,
It's like
I feel bad for anybody that was working in the costume department. So it'd be like, are we? When they found out that no more earrings and helmets, it probably was like, yes,
yeah, because you just be swinging around, and you're just like, don't fall off, don't fall off.
exactly. I bet there was a lot of costume malfunctions with those helmets. But what would you
hmm
say about the 5-man suits?
No, I like these suits a lot as well. And again, it's another like simple aesthetic for what they're going for here. The big, V, that's going along on their chests. The helmets don't look bad either. Um, I I don't know though. I like these are my favorite, but I appreciate what it's doing, and I definitely like these a lot more than others, that came before it. But I don't know. I might put it in mid because it's not bad, but it's not great.
Oh, okay. Mid. I mean, okay. So it's like between it's like mid for you, but like raw for me. It's just like in between there. I may
Mhm.
put them in like in Raw because it's something about them. Like they have
Mhm.
a lot of spice to it. Now, Jetman, easily
Yes,
goaded suits.
yes,
Easily,
yes.
just this is a version. This is a part where you have the theme and the suits match perfectly. The wings are the key feature of these suits that make these suits pop. And just again, the bird helmets for each of the Rangers look perfect. It's just it oozes just perfection when you just look at this. And of course, Jetman is just a great show as well. But
Yeah.
what would you say about
Yeah,
the
no,
Jetman suits?
look, you would probably say like, hey, an animal team where it's just only like one kind of animal, like just all different types of birds versus the past or future teams where it's like different. Somebody would probably say that's stupid, but Jetman makes it work. Again, as I keep saying, a good sense of the primary color with the secondary being white and being in good places, or for the instance, White Swan, where it's mainly white with pink aspects. Again, something that looks a lot better than what they were trying to do with Changeman. Um, and again, as you said, like those wings sell it, the helmets, some of my favorite Sentai helmets out there. Again, it's simple, but the details behind it in this one make it so good. And again, as you said, Jetman's just a really good show overall. By good old Tashiki Inouye.
Inoue could write Sentai well, but he can't write any writer perfectly. But anyway, that's a discussion for another time. All right,
Let's not talk about
next
that.
up, we got Zoo Ranger, aka MMPR. I see these suits. We all see these suits on a daily basis.
Yeah,
We
we
see
can't
them on a
we
daily basis.
no. See. Japan doesn't see this on a daily
No,
basis.
Japan doesn't see, but we here in America, we see these
We see this on
every
a daily
day,
basis.
every freaking day.
You can't talk about Power Rangers without talking about this. Even though we would like to talk about Power Rangers about anything other than this. We love these suits. We love the team here in America, but stop it.
Look, I like Power Rangers as much as the next guy, but again, I see these suits on a daily basis, and this is not just talking about Zoo Ranger. But I do, with it being the first dinosaur themed season, the helmets look great. The golden shield for Dragon Ranger looks excellent, of course, and of course the triangles on the chest and the triangles on the cufflinks of the boots and the gloves. It's nice. It's good. It's just again. What else is there to be said about these suits? If you've seen them, if you're a Power Rangers fan, you know these suits. You love them. You've
Yeah,
seen them everywhere.
yeah. You
They're
see
they're
them
they're raw.
everywhere.
Now
Yes.
Die
Yes.
Ranger. Oh, goaded, goaded suits. I remember
Mhm.
the first time I saw these suits, and again, I had to thank Gokaidra for this.
Yeah.
The helmets look.
Thank Gokager and curse Super Mega Force for this.
Oh yes, that too, that too. I also had to give Super Mega Force credit where credit is due with this, but yes, the helmets look beautiful. I remember seeing the Ryu Ranger suit with in that episode of Super Mega Force. I'm like, what's this? This suit looks cool. And then for some reason, it's just like those suits, the Die Ranger suits, period. And then when the whole team transformed into them, they called them Squadron and Super Mega Force. But I'm just like, these suits look so well. And when you find out how they match well with the White Ranger suit, I'm just like, oh, okay. But
Oh,
I love it. I love these suits. It goes without saying. I
yes.
love
Mhm.
these suits. I'm serious, Toei. Y'all
Yes.
need to get a martial arts Sentai back up and running. We need one. But I love the
Mhm.
Die Ranger suits without question. Love them.
These suits are just like what else can you say about them? Like, yes, in the instant the body is more white than their primary color, but the primary color is still present throughout most of it. The design, especially with the Chinese aesthetic, really good. Really love the helmets, and of course, Kiba Ranger. Not only the first kid ranger and first kid six ranger, that would not stop, but also just a really good suit overall. And of course the suits that made everybody who found out about them either through Sentai or through Megaforce be like, why, Saban? What, like, why? It could have worked. Why? But yeah,
I
these
I
are
agree
these are goated. These
for
are
sure.
goated.
All right, next up we have Goranger, the first ever ninja themed season. I'm gonna be honest, these suits are raw. These suits are raw
Yes.
as hell. They're sleek,
Yes.
they're clean, they're nice, they're beautiful. It's just the helmets alone. Just when you look at the helmets, you see with the gold on the helmet, which obviously represents a ninja's headband, and of course the visor looks excellent. And then just the bodysuits for the Rangers, amazing. Not goaded, but still, these suits are raw for sure. I I like these suits. They're raw. What would you say?
You know. No. See, I'm currently watching Ranger for the first. Like, it's strange. Didn't really know if I wanted to. Then I watched the 30th anniversary special, and I was like, oh yeah, I want to watch the show now. And but I've always liked the suits overall. Again, it's like it's crazy because it's like the suit is basically from top to bottom their primary color, with the accents of black in there, but the ninja theme is not lost. And while it is very simple, probably one of the most simple Sentai suits out there, outside of a Ninja Man over there, but outside of that, these suits hold up to this day. I mean, heck, I remember watching the Ranger 30th and I'm like, wow, these suits still look good.
I need to get on
But
that,
yeah.
watch that special because I still haven't watched that special yet. But I gotta watch that special because, ooh, these suits are good. These suits,
Oh yeah,
obviously.
just prepare for some insanity when you get to that special. But just also prepare to see Jiraiya kicking ass again, like he ain't aged a day.
Love it. Good.
Yes.
Now we go to O Ranger. I know O Ranger doesn't get the best reception, which is fine. And funny enough, is actually celebrating its 30th anniversary this year. I like. Okay, take it from me, who grew up seeing these suits in Power Rangers Zeo. I grew up with Power Rangers Zeo from watching Power Rangers. I love these suits. I love them. I think these suit designs are goated. First, just from the symbol design of the helmets, the neck of the suits, the simplicity of the white gloves and boots. I love these suits. And King Ranger suit, gold shield, gold cufflinks, gold knee pads, and shoulder pads. I'm just like, I love these suits. I say these suits are goaded. I think they're goaded. What would you say?
These how do I put it? Again, like these suits are goaded for me as well because it's just like it's crazy. It's just crazy. It's like again, primary color, I already brought it up, but it takes what could have almost been the bib situation all over again, but doesn't do that, thank God. It adds those details there, but they're not straight up in your face or just not necessary. And again, the star motif for the helmet that you could, and the kanji sort of motif as well that you see with King Ranger. Again, these suits are just they're just really well done. They're just really, really well done. There's not much to say. It's just a really well done Sentai team that with a good balance of colors as well.
I agree. Where would you put them in, like goat or raw?
Okay, I don't know if I would put them in goaded. Probably raw. Probably raw.
I'm just maybe I'm just biased. Just like I would put these in goat because, but you know what?
Mhm,
I see your point. I can see your point. I would.
mhm.
These are kind of raw. All right. Next up, we have Car Ranger. Now, second car themed Sentai. I think these are much better and a step up from the Turbo Ranger suits, especially with having the car headlights of the helmets. The body suits itself look, again, simple, but you can basically figure out just by looking at the season. Yes, it's a car themed Sentai just by looking at the helmets. The suits itself don't give that car aesthetic too much, not too much, but that's fine. That's totally fine. And I would put these suits, I would say these suits are raw. I would say Car Ranger suits are definitely raw. What about you?
Yeah, no, these are 100%. It's like someone looked at the Turbo Ranger suits and are like, okay, what can we do to make this thing better? And they did. Because the helmets look a lot better, like very much a lot better than the Turbo Ranger outfits. The suit it almost hits that race. Yeah, it definitely hits that like race car aesthetic that they were, or racer, for a race car, the aesthetic that they were going for within it. I also really not love, but I also really like the numbering on the sides for them.
Oh, right,
Unlike
right, with the number
yeah,
patches. Right, right.
yeah.
Yes.
And then again, it's like the suit is like very simplistic, but again, it has those small little details, with the little like small little black outlinings in some instances. I say the weird part for me is just the out of nowhere black and yellow square in the middle. But other than that, I do like these suits. Though I would probably just put them in raw. Like they're
Yeah.
not the best, but I do like these 100% more than the Turbo Ranger suits.
Yep. All right. Next up, we have the Mega Ranger suits. I feel like these suits. I feel like these suits are underrated to a certain extent because one, I feel like Mega Ranger definitely one of my favorite. Probably I would say is one of the best 90s Sentai shows. Just of how
Yes.
amazing it is, and also with it being the first season that has a Silver Ranger. First of all, Mega Silver suit is actually pretty clean. I'm going right out to say Mega Silver is very clean. Um, I find what one thing that not really bugs me, but kind of makes me just scratch my head a bit is just the chest for the Rangers with the different the different color patches on each of the suits. It's not like they're giving like a number, or like a color designation for the chest. I'm just like, that's the only thing that's just like not weirding me out, but just makes me go like, what were they trying to do with the chest designs there? But they're raw, but it's like low raw, but probably high mid low raw for me. Yeah, I'm not sick.
But like
I
yeah,
think
me
yeah, like you muted.
oh yeah, sorry. Again, new mic. But again, like me personally, I really like Mega Ranger as a season. I just a few years ago, I think I was during the pandemic. I just went through it because I was like, I want to watch the show, and I fell in love with it and its characters. Suit wise, again, I love both its Japanese original video game aesthetic season, and I also like the American version. So there's a little bit of a bias here. But I will also say, like, for the most part, these suits for me are really good. But I will also say, yes, the different color squares thing is weird. Mega Silver does it the best because it's not different colors and it's instead like almost this weird, what was it? It's almost this weird like digital
Mm-hmm.
or like technological pattern within the squares, but it's still for the most part like silver as well that make it work. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
maybe, and I understand they probably didn't just want the squares to just be their regular colors, but it could have maybe been something else like a unified, I don't know. I don't know. What would you say? Like a unified, like gold or silver coloring, like going inside the squares instead of each of their separate colors. I feel like if they changed it to something like that, it would probably be a lot better. But I still really, really love these suits a lot. But I would, for me personally, I uh, I wouldn't put these in goaded, but I would put these at a high raw for me.
Okay, definitely. All right. Next up, we have Ginga Man. I hear a lot of different. I hear a lot of mixed and probably disappointed opinions about these suits. The one thing, again, I gotta talk about the elephant in the room about these
The
suits.
Charlie
The
Brown.
Charlie
Talk
Brown
about it.
stripes on the chest. I get it. I get it. I get it. The Charlie Brown stripes on the chest and on the gloves. It doesn't make any sense. I understand. The helmets are great. The
Mhm.
helmets are great. But I can understand what it is about the Charlie Brown stripes. I'm just like, what were they going for here? It's like I feel like the costume designer who was making these suits was probably reading Peanuts comics while they were making these suits. I was like, huh, let's use these and just put them on the suits. I'm like, why do they look like Charlie Brown? But it it's like raw or mid for me with these suits. It's just like in between like raw and mid for me. Now I know Bull Black is different with him having bull horns for the helmet, which is great. He also has a cape, and with the energy piece, that green piece in his chest, which is it's interesting, but I feel like also it was only played one strong point throughout the entire show itself. But it's just like these suits are like pretty, they're pretty like mid kind of raw suits for me. What would you say?
You know, like, look, I like Ginga Man and I like Lost Galaxy, but these suits have always been a little weird to me. I think the reason the big yes, it's the Charlie Brown stripes, but it's just it's not even just the Charlie Brown stripes. It's the fact that they put it below, like they put it down, like in the white part, like for the main body. It's not this up here. They put it down. Like I'm just like, but why though? And it's like it's crazy because Power Rangers made it work within the morphing sequence, but Ginga Man, it's just there, and I feel like if maybe they took a little bit of cues from Bull Black and had some sort of, especially when you look at the upgraded form and the little crystal, if they had something like that instead, like I don't know, maybe it be more of like a vest thing, or yeah, like a what is it, almost like an armored like top sort of thing. I understand it's more of a nature season,
Almost
but I
like a
mean, hey,
bulletproof vest kind of thing.
yeah, and again, I understand it's more of a nature season, but it's like if I don't know, maybe if they incorporated something from like their civilian outfits into the chat, into the main body of it instead of the weird zigzags, it probably will look a little bit better. I really do like the helmets for these, and Bull Black as a whole, I really like, but I would probably put these in mid.
I agree. I I definitely agree. All right, next up we have Go-Go 5. Go-Go 5 suits are kind of simple. What I think with these suits, one, the helmet, the badge designs on the helmets, of course, look very different from each other, which is fine. And the suits are okay with just like the chest being you have the red, the primary color of that ranger mixed in with the white spiral as well. It's just, and of course white gloves and boots. That's all you get with this suit. It's not too much, but it's very little. There's not much. I feel like there's not much to say about these suits. I think they're just. I think I would say the Go-Go 5 suits are kind of mid. I would probably say mid. What would you say, JKing?
I would say that they're definitely working for the Umbrella Corporation, but never mind, never mind. Not that, not that. But, but no, I would probably put these in mid too because it's like I don't dislike these suits. I think again, for me, the best part for me personally is the helmet. I do like how each of theirs is. The badge, and it's a little different, especially when you get those close-up shots and you can see them in there with just the little, the little extra thing, I guess, for fire, all that, given the fact that this is a rescue season. But the body is weird. This is one of those instances where it's like simple isn't bad, but it wouldn't hurt to have something a little different.
Mm-hmm. Something to make the suits pop a little bit. But yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely probably put these suits in like mid for me. Now, Time Ranger. I'm saying in a good way because oh my gosh, these suits are beautiful. They're first of all the technological aspects of the helmet designs, the clock designs on the visor and on the chest, and with Time Fire's with his design, same thing, but his cufflinks on his boots and gloves being black, and his clock arrows are a little bit jagged. I These suits are great. These suits are goaded for me. It just they when you look again for a show that came out in literally 25 years ago, these suits still hold up. They really still do hold up. I put these suits in goaded because they're just very beautiful. I'm not talking about because it's Time Ranger bias, but it's just something about these suits like they still hold up. When you look at when you look at Ranger suits in like HD quality, you look at the quality of them, it's like, oh, these suits definitely hold up for like 20 plus years. What would you say, JK?
The Time Ranger, again, there's also a bias for me here because this is another instance of I love both its Japanese and its American counterpart a lot. And this is a team they took the concept of time travel again within the year 2000. They took the concept of time travel and they took the concept of clocks and made it into something that's both simple and effective because again, strong presence of primary, strong presence of the motif of here. Again, they look futuristic, but also modern at the same time. The changer, very simple. The helmet design, very simple, except for those moments where it's like, it does the little, within the black part of the helmet. Again, there's just a lot of bias here. And Time Fire, you can't go wrong with Time Fire. One of the most badass six Ranger designs in both Sentai and Power Rangers. You just can't go wrong. And first Red Six Ranger as well. You just can't go wrong with these designs. Like, these are just goated. These are some goated designs.
Yep. All right, we have now reached the halfway point with Goranger. Of course, since I just recently reviewed Goranger, I have a huge nostalgia for these suits, mainly because of Wild Force. The helmets probably got to be like my favorite animal design helmets. It's just like, again, the design of each of the specific animal designations of these Rangers, amazing. The symbol of their specific animal on where their heart is, amazing. The stripe design coming down the Ranger suit, amazing. And of course, white gloves and white boots. Of course, most Ranger suits have the white gloves and white boots. But again, I love these suits. They're not goated for me, but they're definitely raw for sure. What would you say about the Goranger suits as well?
It's funny you put them in raw, given what type of team we're talking about here. But yeah, but yeah, no, I really like these suits a lot too. Again, as you said, it's probably one of my favorites. Animal themed. It's weird that the animal theme. It's like neck and neck with me for Live Man with the animal themed helmets, because I really like both, and I can't determine which one I like more over the other. But and also the bodysuit, primary color for the most part, but it's simple, but it's also simple. It has those accents of gold there with the stripes, and then of course one of the first Sentai teams to have claws on their gloves
Yes, I
as
forgot to
well.
mention that. But okay, the claws are very inconsistent because in some shots they have the claws, and some shots they don't. So it's just like they do with claws, without claws. That was the most inconsistent feature on those suits. But yes, I do love the claws. The claws were amazing. They should have kept that throughout the entire show.
Yes, and I have to say, like, for me personally as well, my favorite having to be Gao Silver. Just it again, another one of those suits you just can't go wrong with in terms of Six Rangers. But yeah, no, I definitely will put these in raw. These are not goaded, but these are definitely, no pun intended, raw.
Of course. All right, next up we have Hurricaneger, our second ninja theme season. I love how for the main five, their helmets, their visors open and close. That is a neat design. That is a very, very neat design for the suits. And with Shurikenger having like a battle vest that comes off and allows his helmet visor to switch shapes, amazing. These ninja suits are just really, really cool, especially for the main five having their symbols on their chests. For the Gorangers having the beetle horns on the helmets, amazing. It's just these suits are they're clean. They are so clean, and they still hold up in this day. Whenever you see, because Hurricaneger got the most anniversary specials right now, so anytime you see these suits, they're so clean. It's true.
Yo, I know you're right. They literally had a 10-year anniversary special, and then like within the last couple years, they had a 20th. Meanwhile, Ranger just finally gets an anniversary special.
It's like
It's like
It's like they get the most anniversary specials out of everybody.
No. It's not Hurricaneger though. Like, they're second. We'll get to who the most is not long from now.
Oh yeah, especially. Oh yeah, most definitely. So
Yeah.
what would you say about the Hurricaneger suits?
Personally, again, it's just a strong presence of everything that they're trying to do. Good primary color with the little mesh things on the sides. I really like that. I don't think we've really had that for like any Sentai season, especially for the last Ninja season. We didn't have that. The helmets not only coming across with the ninja aesthetic, but also their animal aesthetic as well. Our Sixth Ranger just again being one of the most iconic ones out there. Having technically two Red Rangers as well. I mean, because again, like Goranger technically counts with, but it's a whole weird thing. But still, I love these suits a lot, nostalgia wise for both here in the West and for when I finally did watch Hurricaneger a few years back. I would have to put these in goated.
Oh, oh, goaded.
Hmm.
Mm, you know what? Okay, I may put them in goaded as well. All
Hmm.
right, now we go to Ranger, our second Dino theme season. I gotta say, two of these suits out of the five pretty much just ooze greatness. That would be Abare
Yes.
Black because of his shoulder pads, and Abare Killer because Lord have mercy, they did not have to go that hard. They did not have to go hard with Abare Killer's suit. And don't even
Hmm.
get me started with the Abare mode for all these suits because the Abare mode looks amazing for these suits. Having the
Yes.
spikes with Abare Yellow getting wings like a pterodactyl, Abare Killer becoming a whole freaking hedgehog for Pete's sake. They these the Outer Ranger suits go hard. And okay, even for just the primary three, it's basic and simple. But again, this is another version where basic and simple work. Mm, oh man, I would say they're raw, but also goaded at the same time. It's just like I want to put them in both. Like they have two different categories for themselves. I may put them in
Uh huh.
goaded. Where would you put them?
No, I put them in goated too. I will say that yes, the big outliers here are definitely Abure Black and Abure Killer. Again, Abure Black, they did not skip on how good they took what was the simple Abure Ranger design, did the black color, but instead of the white, they had it be like gold, and it just looks good. And then Abure Killer, probably one of my favorite suits in all of Super Sentai, not just Six Rangers,
Mm.
but just one of my favorite Super Sentai suits, period. And I do like the core three. I think definitely when all five are together, you definitely will look more towards Black and Black and Killer. Black. Okay. Anyways, you would definitely look more towards Black and Killer. Happy Black History Month.
Oh.
Happy Black History Month, y'all. Anyways, my bad. Anyways, you
Oh
know,
man, I wish Mike was here to see this. I'm sorry, y'all.
uh,
Oh,
that was not on purpose.
oh, I needed that. That was a good one.
Oh God. Anyways, scratch that back. Going back to the core three, while again the other two definitely stand out. I do like the main three. Again, big bias for Dino Thunder, but at the same time, it's like Opera Rangers. Like these are just really good. They're not my favorite dinosaur themed Sentai, but I do 100% appreciate what they were going for. Very simple helmet for the main three out with, you can tell which dinosaur it is.
Mhm.
I gotta say, favorite part is always, of course, when in animation it roars for
Yes,
every single one of
yes,
them.
yes.
But yes, I would also put these suits in gold. It's just they're just that good.
Yep, absolutely. All right, next up we have Ranger. These suits have so much going for it. I think that's what
Yes.
makes these suits pop. The number
Yes.
designation on all for the primary six Rangers, the number designation on the suits and on the foreheads of the helmets,
Hmm.
and just the oh my gosh, the symmetry of color of having the left arm be black and the right arm be the primary color of that Ranger's suit. It makes it look special. And if we're looking at with Deca Master having with the dog ears and kind of like the SPD badge on his shoulders, it looks great. Deca Swan having like the cat ears, it just the Ranger suits are goaded. They really are good. They're goaded. If I had to say, really, really goaded. What would you say?
These again, these are some of my favorite. These are probably one of my favorite teams in Sentai. And it's crazy because they took the idea of making a cop themed Sentai or a detective themed Sentai,
Right, and the
technically.
sirens on the helmets. Love that.
Yes,
Love that.
yes, that part I also really, one of my favorite aspects of this team for every single ranger that they got. But again, they took the simple idea of turning a cop slash detective into a ranger, and they not only make it look like an official uniform for someone within the law enforcement of taking on crazy aliens, but still look very much like a Sentai suit. And again, it's just that good unison, the menacing looking helmets that would definitely, scare away any criminals. Again, the black side with the number just really good. I especially like Deca Break where it has it as the Roman numeral 6 in it, and again, just really good coloring with the white and instead of black being blue and those little accents of yellow. Again, the Deca Ranger, you just can't go wrong with this team, which of course is why you keep seeing this team everywhere.
Yes.
You see, they get
second most
they,
anniversary specials.
No. This is the most anniversary specials because not only do they have 2 anniversary specials, don't forget their team ups with Gavin or their cameos in other shows,
Right,
like when they
right,
showed up in Q Ranger out of nowhere.
right. You're right. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Deca Ranger suits goaded, easily goaded,
Mm-hmm.
straight up. All right, now we go on to Maji Ranger, which is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. Toei, I'm waiting for a 20th anniversary movie project announce me.
Yeah.
Uh,
And just make it like an anniversary movie. Don't have them team up with Gozyuger out of nowhere.
yeah, I agree.
Like
I
we
agree.
did that. We did that last year with Boom Boomcher 3 times. Technically 4 with the upcoming movie. Keep it to its own thing, please.
I agree. The Maji Ranger. Okay, I love the different aspects of the animal. I mean, I am the mystical creature that that's it's symbolized for that specific ranger. And the capes. I know most people don't like capes. I know with Edna mode with the whole no capes. The capes kind of work with this, especially with them being magicians. I know with Magi Mother and Wolzard Fire, they're the only ones excluded with capes. But for the primary 6, I think it works, especially for Magi with Magi Shine, because with him being the 6th Ranger, his cape being the longest out of all of the five siblings, I really it's something about his suit just like wow. It's like it's shiny, it's brilliant. It's good. Like it really looks good. What would you say about the Maji Ranger suits?
It's like you said. I understand some instances where the capes wouldn't work, but I think for every Sentai season that we see where a specific ranger or the whole team has, or just basically the core team has a cape, it has it for a specific reason, and that's why I like it. I didn't mind it with Go Ranger because again, first season, and honestly, with especially with Aqua Ranger, it looks good. And in terms of this, when you're going for a magical themed season, there was only one other way you could have gone with it, and that would have basically been pulling a Common Rider Wizard before Common Rider Wizard ever happened. But in
Mm-hmm.
terms of this, I think that it works pretty well. It feels, again, much in the sense of Deca Ranger, where it feels like you perfectly combine the concept of a police uniform with a Sentai uniform. You perfectly combined the aspects of mysticism, wizards, warlocks, mages, and put that into a Sentai team, because the core 5 really love the colors for them, and again, having female blue, pink, yellow, green, and red all look really good together, and they all pop. Our 6th Ranger, again, one of my favorite designs out there, and just looking great. And then every extra Ranger that we have also following just really good designs. I love the helmets a lot. These are some of my favorites, especially red is like one of my favorite Sentai helmets because it's just there's just something about it that for me that personally just pops. But yeah, no, this team, like suit wise, I've always liked it a lot, and I would have to put in raw.
In Raw, I agree. I put it in Raw as well. All right, now we get to Bokenger. The Bokenger suits. How could I say this? I like Bokenger as a show, but I just like something about the suits. The helmets are good, but I don't know what it. I think it's the suits that are just like kind of throwing me off a little bit. and I'm not saying that as a well, not really a bad thing, but just like as a more like a confused aspect. Um, again, the helmets for me, it's the helmets. I love the helmet designs for Goranger, but it's just I think it's probably the oversaturation of the white on just from like being on the front, and that's about it. But yeah, that's basically all I could say.
You know, I think I know it's almost in a sense what they later did for like say Kamen Rider Double Extreme, but just doesn't look as good because it's just plain white, or in Silver's case, plain black. It's just
Mm-hmm.
this weird middle ground, and it's like maybe if they added like the sparkle motif that's again Double Extreme has, it maybe would have worked a little bit better. But the main bodysuit is just weird because again, it's like just this big old stripe that goes from the neck area all the way down to where the boots are, and it just looks weird. The shoulder pads, they're not bad, but again also weird. And again, I get what they're going for with the logo with the compass. I really do like the logo for Bokenger,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like in terms of the bodysuit, there could have been a lot less and a lot more that could have been done. The helmets, though, I will always like, especially the light up feature within the
Yes,
helmet.
yes, the headlights on
Yes,
on the foreheads are really nice.
especially for Boken Silver, I really like his the most. But yeah, no, the helmets are good, but the suit is I don't know. I don't know. And I like
Put
Bokenger.
him in mid.
Yeah, I would put him in mid. I like Bokenger. Didn't like Operation Overdrive, but I like Bokenger.
All
But you know, it's a weird one.
right, next up, Geki Ranger. Clean freaking
Yes,
suits. Let
yes,
me
yes,
talk about
yes.
how clean these suits are. They did not have to go hard with these Geki Ranger suits. First of all, let me just talk about the primary three. How each of their stripe designs look so unique. It looks amazing. And with Geki Violet being a with his suit supposed to represent a Muay Thai fighter, having with the shoulder guards and the knee guards, and just not really, yeah, kind of like the bandages wrapped around his fist. It just looks amazing. And Geki Chopper's design with him having like a regular martial artist suit with the belts, and having like the claw design on the claw morpher, just like how the main three have. It just they did not have to go. These suits are raw as hell, so raw, so clean. What would you say about the Geki Ranger suits?
Look, I have a huge bias for Jungle Fury, and like a very, very huge bias for Jungle Fury. And I did watch Geki Ranger as well. I really, really, these are some of my favorite suits out there. Again, I understand it's a little weird in some aspects because, yes, these are also, in a sense, kind of track suits. I get it. But I like the way that they incorporate it. Because, again, the tracksuit thing doesn't really diminish it for me. It's a strong, really strong presence of the primary color with and especially based on what animal they are, the little like animal prints going down the sides of their arms and their legs, the Geki Ranger symbol in the middle, the helmets I really love, especially with their upgraded mode.
Mm,
Geki, yes,
mm,
especially that upgraded mode is always going to be the Geki Ranger upgrade is one of my favorite upgrades in Sentai.
mm.
You can't change that for me. And then for the other two, Chopper I really like a lot, but there is something about Geki Violet that has always made me love that suit. And I think you brought it up. It's just the way that it's designed because it fits with the core five, but at the same time, it just looks so, so good. And again, like I it's somewhere here. I'm not gonna be able to find it, but I know I still have the morpher in this room somewhere. But again, I just love this suit a lot. But as the core Geki Rangers, the core five, heck, even the core technical seven with bad guys gone good, still, this is a really good season that again, it's a kung fu season and also another animal themed season, and they did both very well.
Probably this was the last martial arts theme season that we had. Toei, y'all need to get a martial arts season up and ready. We need it.
Hmm.
All right. Next up, we got Goranger. I something about these suits. It's the headlights on the helmets that make it look cool. Um, the jet engine tailpipes for gold and silver, and it's again, this is not. It's like it's not doing too much, and I love the number designation, of course, for the main five. I know the Go on Wings, they don't really have a number designation; they just have their logo, which is fine. But it's the tires. It's the tire aspect. I give also credit to Power Rangers RPM for giving the only RPM originated this with it doing the tire attack with the tires, but I it's the tire designs kind of like make the suit feel so complete. I think that's what it is for me. What would you say?
For the original tire ninge that we got going on over here, in terms of having it within the suit, I also really like the Goanger suits a lot. Again, maybe a bias for RPM, but also with Goanger, I really like that season too, even if it is very, very silly. But besides that point, I have always liked these suits a lot. The helmets for me, again, being very much vehicle but animal at the same time. The main bodysuit with the freaking seatbelt straps going into the belts, and again, for the main five, their logo. And again, the top there's just a lot about this that I really like. Again, it's primarily the primary color, and then everything else that's not the primary color is just an add-on. Again, silver belt straps, silver belt, the logo, and the yellow logo that they got going on, black tie. There's just a lot about this that in one thing is silly but effective, and another is you can see why they made the suit this way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'll put these in raw. I'll definitely put these suits
Yeah,
in raw.
definitely raw.
All right, Shinkenger, goaded. Look,
Yes, yes.
look. The different elemental kanjis on the helmets, the samurai garb designs of the suits itself, the oh, the just oozes samurai aesthetic with just it's in the this is when the name of the show and the suit just mesh all together in one beautiful package. And even when you look at Shinken Gold with his specific light kanji design, it oh my so good. Goated suits. No explanation. Goated suits. That's my explanation. JKing, what are your thoughts?
These look, I may not have been too much of a fan of its Western counterpart, but the original counterpart and these suits overall, I have always liked. They took the traditional and again, it makes sense. Of course, Japan would make this work because it's their country, but they took the traditional samurai garb, not the armor garbed, but like the cloak garb, and turned it into a whole ranger suit where again good sense of the primary color with the little accents of black and white gloves, the sword looking one of my favorite weapons in all of Sentai, and then the kanji. They made the kanji for each of them be easy to understand but also at the same time stylish. And again, Shinken Gold, you can't go wrong with that suit. You can't go wrong with it, period. And don't even get me started on Super Shinken mode. Do not even get me
Oh,
started there because
oh,
with every single one of the Rangers, including Gold, it looks good. And as well, well, mainly for Red, but as well as that Dino mode.
oh,
Again,
hyper mode.
yeah, hyper mode. They again, everything when it in terms of Shinkenger just looks amazing, and it still holds up to now. Like we haven't seen the Shinkengers in a long time, but you look back and it's like again,
Unfortunately.
yeah, unfortunately. Honestly, I wish they would. I mean, heck, isn't their anniversary like now or soonish? Either
No,
way,
their 15th anniversary was last year.
Flark. Anyway, well, hopefully 20th. Hopefully 20th Toy does something. But
We
it's
shall
like, yeah,
see. We shall
we
see.
shall see. We shall see.
We
But
shall
yes,
see.
it's like these like the Shinkengers are just they're memorable for a reason. both here in America and in Japan, they are memorable for a reason because it's a good season and some really good suit designs. And I had to put that stuff. Yes, that's goated. That's some goated suits.
Yep. All right, next up, we move to Gosager. Gosager suits, again, I know not a lot of people talk about Gosager because of how it takes place in between two goated seasons. It's like the not uncut. It's like the black sheep of these three shows. Because you go from Shinkenger, which is a great show. Gosager was kind of like, not want to say forgotten, but lesser known or not even talked about as much. And then you got Gokaiger. The Gosager suits, again, simplistic, and I like it. I like the Gosager suits. I like the animal, they're with the animal designation on their helmets on the sides, the specific element that they cover, like with red and pink they cover air, black and yellow they cover earth, and blue covers water. I like that. With Gosei Knight being like a full-on mechanized, like he is basically a Gosei header, as it's stated in the story. Spoilers if you haven't seen Gosager or not. But Gosei Knight is definitely, his is unique. I know most people say when they look at Gosei Knight, he gives off more of an extra ranger more instead of a 6. But I can understand why. But I still like how his design differs from the rest of the main 5. What would you say about the Gosager suits?
It is weird because I really do like these suits. I understand why it's weird for some people because again, two in between two good goated seasons, it feels like the unloved middle child, and we don't even talk about what they did with them over here in America. But it's like honestly, these suits feel grand. And yes, I understand why they feel grand because again, this is a team of angels that we got dealing with over here. And I think that works. I mean, you probably wouldn't think of angels immediately. You would probably think of maybe another animal themed or I guess mystical animal themed like season. But when you really take a look at it, you're like, yeah, this like what it doesn't make up for in the angel aesthetic, it makes up for in the grandeur, the white edition with the main primary color, the gold trims around it, the gold logo for every single one of the characters. Heck, even Gosei Knight being more of just feeling larger than life, which I understand probably is why he doesn't feel like a 6 ranger in some instances. And I understand also it's because of the fact that he's, he doesn't have an alternate form like, most other 6s. But still, I really do like these suits a lot. Like I have a small love for it. I understand in between two goats and also not very much loved here in America because of what Power Rangers did. But personally, suit wise, I like all of them, especially for what they go for in every, again, pink and red air, black and yellow earth, blue water, and then just, Gosei Knight just whatever the heck he wants to be. But but they all work and they all work separately and they all work as a 16 or 7 if you think about the one that didn't make it.
We don't talk about Gosei Green.
Yeah, we don't talk about him.
We don't talk about Gosei Green. Let it be forgotten. I will put these suits in raw. For simple, they work. All right, next up, my bias. Look, no explanation is needed.
Yeah, just put it in code.
No explanation is needed for Gokaiger. If you watch Gokaiger, no explanation is needed. Go. Yeah. There's no need to explain.
We don't need to explain it.
Yeah, there's no explanation required. Look, you are the vibe speaks for itself. Goated, no explanation required. All right, next up we have the Go Busters. These are the first Ranger suits to actually be made with leather instead of cloth. So I find that very interesting. I like the sunglasses, the shade design for all the Rangers that they have with the helmets. I love the beetle designs for Beat Buster and Stag Buster. Really, really cool designs, especially with for some reason when it comes to doing duo Rangers and when they have to incorporate beetle designs, they always seem to make it work. Like with the Gorangers, with Beat Buster and Stag Buster, with like Kamen Rider Kabuto and Kamen Rider Kamen Rider Attack. It like for some reason beetle designs, they just work. They really just work. So I would definitely put the Go Buster suits in raw. That's where I would put them. What would you say?
No, I would also put it in Raw as well. I know it's also it also feels like it's in the same sense of Gozyuger, where it's in between two really loved seasons,
Ah,
where
yes.
it's like where it's like not a lot of people really talk about it, and I
Hmm.
understand that financially didn't do so well. I mean, heck, that's why the Goryuger Go Buster movie was the way that it was. But
Yeah.
it's like these suits feel like the most tactical, like next to Deca Ranger, these feel like the most tactical Sentai suits out there because again, full on leather, the way that the helmets work. Again, it feels like they did not skip on this being a spy themed season with just a little hint of that animal in there.
Hmm. So yeah, I would definitely put these suits in Raw. They are definitely
Mhm.
Raw. All right, Kyoryuger. These suits just ooze. I gotta be so honest.
Yeah, go
These are the
ahead.
best look. These are the best looking Dino suits ever. I remember the
Hmm.
first time I saw these suits, back on Ranger Wiki before the show even premiered, and I was just like, "Whoa!" It's just like they're so just not even. They're like raw but goaded at the same time. First of all, the silver shoulder strap that they have on the suit, also mixed in with the like the teeth designs, the yellow teeth designs on the chest, or in this case for cyan and gray, it's not, I want to say like brown. It's kind of like faded because they're basically deceased, or like they're ghost rangers. Oh, sorry, spirit rangers. Sorry, spirit rangers. There we go. I was like, how do I say deceased? Spirit rangers. I'm like, that's how they call themselves. And of
Hmm.
course, with Kiryu Silver, his of course has to be gold because you don't want that silver mixing in with the rest of the ranger suit. But again, the helmet designs, the specific dinosaur designation of each of the rangers of each 10 looks amazing for these suits. And of course, the number designation as well, being all 10 rangers with the biggest ranger team at that time. The the Kyoryuger suits are just so goaded, so goaded. What would you say, JKing?
Yeah, no, these are goaded. Like, there's not much I can say. Like, you just take a look at all 10 Rangers in this team. Again, the largest at the time, the largest Ranger team out there. It's like there's not much to say. Like these suits are just it. They're just that. They're the best dinos out there.
Yep, yep, absolutely. And next we have Tokuger. I remember the first time I saw these suits, I was like, trains, huh? But there's something about them that they have a certain charm to it that just makes it look really cool. And of course, the color, the shading of the color for each of the Tokuger suits, especially Tokuger Yongo, his green being like probably the lightest shade of green that you would ever see on a ranger suit. That lime, I know most people don't like that lime green color, but I don't know, something about that lime green color. It looks great. But I don't know what it is about the Tokuger suits. They're not bad suits. It's unique. They make the train design look very unique and special for it. I I would they're not mid, and they're not trash either. I feel like they are raw, not goaded. Something about them makes them really raw. What would you say about the Tokuger suits?
You know, I also have to agree they have to be in raw because it's like I understand for some people it's in some instances maybe too simplistic because body wise it's like the primary colors all the way there except for the gloves, and then you just got the stylized train thing with their number in it, because again this is a season where they go by number and you know why if you know their whole gimmick there, and the helmets while looking like trains also having the train, it's but yeah, for me it's unique. And again, Tokuger personally is one of my favorites, and there's reasonings too, and I'm not going to get into it right now, but it's just like it's one of my personal favorites. So you can't make me hate this team or these suits. Again, there's just something about it that's just screams unique. It's simple, but it's still very much a unique because we at that point we never really had something that's simple, but also just has this weird feeling towards it, like weird in a good way, personally. But yeah, I'll go in
Absolutely,
raw.
absolutely. All right, next up, the ninja suits. These got to be the most cleanest ninja suits out there. I know it's kind of, I feel like it might be controversial that I might say these suits are kind of like cleaner than Kaku Ranger, but these, first of all, what does it for me is the helmet designs. First, having the specific different type of shuriken design on the helmets look great, and I like how the cufflinks on the boots and the gloves look also really cool, and the scarf of their specific ranger color looks great. And with Star Ninja, him having being like a cowboy themed with his helmet almost like in the shape of a cowboy hat and having that like cowboy type garb, it's again Ninja not a good season, but the suits are raw. The suits are very very raw. What would you say? What would you say, JK?
I understand where you're going for, and when you say that, it's weird to say that they're but I feel like honestly, with each three of these ninja seasons, it's almost like an evolution going on there. And yes, these ones are definitely personally for me my favorite ninja looking themed, Sentai team. The helmets really good. The presence of their primary color and a similar sort of mesh to Hurricaneger really freaking good. Again, there's just a lot to like here. It's a badass Sentai design.
Mm-hmm.
And this is also one of the instances where they make having a white and a pink ranger work. Unlike Changeman.
Right, right, absolutely, definitely. So yeah, I would definitely put these suits in raw. Straight up, I would put these in raw. All right, next up we got Gozyuger. Simple suits, simple animal suits. The helmets look great, and I love with the design of the face of whatever animal that it is represents on the chest. Looks great. And then you got Zuo the World, who has like three different type of helmet designs because he represents three animals: rhino, wolf, and a crocodile. I'm just like, wow. I feel like these suits are they've got to be the most underrated animal suits in Sentai. And that's not even talking about when they use the specific abilities of their animals, like with Zuo Eagle getting the wings, Zuo Tiger and Lion getting giant claws, Elephant getting like giant elephant hooves, Jewel the World getting like spikes on his shoulders to represent like rhino horns, a wolf claw, and a crocodile tail.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! And then of course Zuo Eagle, of course having three forms because he has a gorilla form and then
Mm-hmm.
a whale form and then a combination of all three. Oh my gosh! I, under I might have to put these in gold. They're underrated. You don't really hear people
Yeah.
talk about Zoodra. I wish Zoodra gets talked about a lot more.
Mm-hmm. I have to agree. It's
What would you
like,
say?
yeah, I have to agree. It's like for me personally, it's like these suits. Yes, I understand why maybe some people wouldn't be too big fans of it because it is very, very simple in terms of like their base. But when you go into what they're going for with it, the helmet's really good, and especially in Jewel Eagles going from eagle to gorilla, just the simple facelift, and then getting the Maji muscles, or
Mm-hmm.
Jewel Whale having a almost a different full-on suit aesthetic, and especially that combination. But all of them look good. They're maybe not my favorite animal themed Sentai team, but I do really like what they're going for, especially when they get their instincts awakened or their upgraded forms. It just makes the designs look even better, in my personal opinion. So yeah, I'd say raw though.
Put them in raw. Got you.
Mhm.
All right, now we get to our first official space season, Sentai season, Q Ranger. I remember
Mhm.
the day these suits got revealed, I was gushing over these suits. I love these suits. I love them so much. And I love how each of them has that astronaut feel with the helmets. Again, I know a lot of not a lot of people like lips on helmets. Me, I do not care. Oh my gosh, these suits look amazing. First of all, with Washi Pink having wings, Sasori Orange having a scorpion tail, Oshi Black representing a bull, having a bull horns in his helmet, um, Ho-Oh Soldier representing having like a mouthpiece to his helmet, and the sword and the shield. Oh my gosh, just and what you call it, Okami Blue with being all fur, kind of looking like Beast from the X-Men. Like every single thing about these Q Ranger suits, a specific quality of that Ranger is represented within the suit itself, and I love that. What would you say, JK?
These there is a lot that could be said about these suits, but I will just say this team altogether and even separate in some instances are definitely personally my favorite Sentai suits because there's just a lot going for it that is simple, but also very much not simple because you have the helmets with the different zodiac like constellations that they got going on, especially when it has a little bit of a star pattern in it as well, going on within that helmet. The base suit, looking good again, also with the little orb having the logo of, what's also on their helmet on there too, just maybe a little bit differently. And then in terms of our extra rangers, Ryu Commander, great. Sky Blue, again, another Kid Ranger, and the first Kid Ranger in a while, but looks great. And Ho Soldier, man. And don't even get me started on Shishi Red Orion. That one, that one. But yeah, no, they went hard on the space zodiac aesthetic, and that's why I got to put these in goaded. I got to put them in goaded.
Yes, another goaded for sure, for sure. All right, now we get to our a dual package for season.
Yeah.
First up, we got the Lupin Rangers. I I actually do like the Lupin Ranger suits over the Paddle Ranger suits because I like the little cape designs that they have, which is supposed to represent them being like phantom thieves. The helmets are basically kind of representing of top hats just like when you see them henshin, and they just have so much style and flair. Like the capes and just the suits give them so much charisma. And then you have Lupin X. His suit is all silver, is also representing like an armored look, which is very interesting. But I definitely got to put the Lupin Ranger suits in raw for me. What about you?
Yes. Yeah, I also had to put them in raw because what they're going for here in a thief. Again, it was probably difficult to find a way to put a thief aesthetic within a Super Sentai suit if it's not a bad guy, but they really do make it work with these because again, it stands out. I know some people sometimes think magician. No, it's not magicians.
Not
It's
magicians.
thieves. It's not. It is thieves, and you can 100% see it in just everything that they got. Again, the little bow tie that's also within the bodysuit, the strong presence of their primary color and black, the capes. Again, this is another season where capes work. And the helmets, I really like these helmets a lot, especially reds. I
Yeah.
really like their helmets
Oh
a
yeah,
lot.
most definitely. So yeah, Lupin Ranger suits are going in raw. Then we have the Paddle Rangers. I didn't really like the Paddle Ranger suits much because I remember when these suits got first revealed, I was mainly paying more attention to the Lupin Ranger suits than I was the Pat Ranger suits. I don't know what it is. I mean, I get what they're going for with the cop aesthetic, with the cop sheet, the helmet basically representing like a cop hat and the shoulder guards and everything. And then with you have Pat Ren X, his design. I don't know what they were going for with his design, with having like the tassels for the back of his, but I don't know. I feel like their suits were kind of mid compared to Lupin Rangers. This could be also said about the show itself. Like the Lupin Rangers get more focus and representation than the Pat Rangers do.
Yeah, that you can't go around talking about the show without really, acknowledging that. But honestly though, I don't dislike these suits like at all. I think personally I like them both equally, though I would probably go more Lupin than Pato, but I do like what they're going for here. It's not my favorite police themed. Again, we already talked about the best police themed with Sentai already. And I think in terms of Pato X, it's weird because looking at it now, it's almost like they took Doggy Kruger's civilian suits and made it gold.
Right,
thinking,
right. I can
thinking
see.
about it
Okay, I
now.
can see it now. I can see it.
Yeah,
I can definitely see.
which honestly makes me like it the best out of the Pato Rangers. But I wouldn't put these in mid though. I would put them in raw. They're not bad. I put them in low raw, but like
I
because
still
again,
say
like
I get it. I get it. But I
yeah,
just they just feel very mid to me in a way. That's just what it is. All right, next up we get to Ryu Soldier. I remember when I first saw these suits and with the color lineup, which is like with it being exactly like Kyryuger, I was just like, the helmets do it. The helmets work
mhm.
very well for me. I really do like the helmets. The body suits for the Rangers, it's very it's I think it's when you see the suits in action, or better yet, whenever they use the Ryu souls and they have that
Mm-hmm.
special armor piece based on that specific Ryu soul, that's when the suits look really good. But by itself, I think they're just eh. And then with Ryu Soul Gold, again, this is a trend that's been happening for a while for Gold Rangers. The Gold Ranger suit would get like a little bit of trim, a little trim of blue or shade
Mm-hmm.
of blue on their suits. And again, this has been happening for like with Kiryu Gold, happened, I guess you could say, with Maji Shine as well. But uh they're raw again. They're like low raw, high mid for me. Like I love the helmets. The helmets look great. It's the helmets that I love so much about the suits. But the rest of the suit, the rest of the bodies, it just not so much.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can understand that. Definitely the best part for me is indeed the helmets. And yes, it does feel weird because like most of the bodysuit is their primary color outside of the black, like going down zigzag in the middle, but then you just have this additional like gray side. And it's like, yes, with the armor on happening on the other side, it does make it look a lot better because again, it's mostly grayish armor, outside of the special ones, it's mostly grayish armor going on the other side. It makes that stand out. But yeah, I would definitely. They're not bad. Again, I really love the helmets,
Mhm.
but I would probably put this. I don't know, mid.
It's again, like you said, it's the gray aspect of the left side of the suit is just like it's just weird for me. That's what it is. All right, now we go to Kira Major. I love these suits.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Never would I thought I'd see a suit. First of all, the final suits of the Heisei. No, I'm wrong. Ryu Soldier was the final Heisei suits.
Yeah, yeah. Ryu
First
Soldier
suits
was
of
final, I say.
first suits of the Reiwa era. I never would have thought I would see such amazing suits that look like they belong in the Showa era, but it works well for modern day. And I remember the first time I saw these suits, I'm just like, they give off like Flashman or Bioman, but it works. And just the gemstone design in the helmets and also in the shoulders. And then you have Kirame Silvers with like having goggles with a little bit of orange asterisk marks on his suit as well. Oh my god. I feel like I gotta put these suits in gold. I really love these suits. What would you say about the
Yeah.
Kira Major suits?
No, these are goaded. Like these are just straight up goaded for me. And it's crazy because it's like Kira Major is also probably another one of those seasons that doesn't get talked about a lot. Probably because of the fact that this was the season that happened during the pandemic.
Right,
But
right.
but I have a big love for this season, especially with the way that they were able to persevere and getting the rest of this show to come out while everything was going on around in the world. And besides that point, I really love the incorporation of the gemstone aesthetic with a vehicle season, especially Kirame Silver. I really like that. Again, the silver, and instead of blue this time, it's the added aspects of orange like that's better. That's a little bit better there. But
Yep.
yeah, no, these suits, I really like them. There's not a lot I could say. I really love the Karen Major suits.
Same here. Same here. All right, next up we have Zenkaiger. Now, the 40, well, depends on who you ask. 45th or 46th, depends on who you ask.
Yeah, no, let's not talk about that unless we want Decay to come in to slap the 46 on our fucking foreheads.
The elephant in the room. But now with
Mm-hmm.
Zenkaiger, I remember when these suits first got revealed. The only suit that I was liking was Zenkaiser's. I only like Zenkaiser's suit, and then for the rest of the team, with them being like mecha base, I didn't like them, but it took time. They started to grow on me. I think the one I really enjoyed the most probably had to be Gowon's and Juron's, because one, I like Gowon's helmets. His helmet looks great. And I think, of course, with Juron basically looking like a ranger sized version of Daizujin, it looked good. Majin and Vroom were okay for me. And then of course we have with Two Kaiser, which is it's basically a Gokai red repainted as gold. That's about it. Pretty solid. But it's Zenkaiser's suit that's doing it for me because it's like a mixture of Aka Ranger and Big One. It's just like you're basically mixing two of the most iconic Ranger suits that started Super Sentai into one modern suit, and I think that's what's doing it for me. It's kind of raw, but I like one suit out of versus the rest of the team. What about you?
Yeah, Zenkaiger is really one of those instances of like, in some instances, it's like you appreciate it, and and in others, you're like, okay, I don't know what the hell you're really doing here. But it's like I've always liked these Zenkaisers the most, obviously. Like that's definitely a suit that I can always say, like, yes, that is a really, really, really good design, especially for what you're going for there. I get that the other members of the main five look a little weird. I think personally the one that probably looks the weirdest is just Majin, because again, she's the only one within this group that got lips on the fucking helmet as well.
Oh
Uh,
right, yes, she does.
yeah, and then Vroom is just a big old block, probably because of his, mecha mode. But and of course, as you said, two Kaiser being Go Kaiser, Go Kai Gold. But I say my favorite suits, Zen Kaiser and Stay Caesar. Those are
Oh yeah.
definitely
Oh yes,
yes,
yes.
yes. Those are good. I appreciate Zen Kaiser for what it is going for. I wouldn't put it in mid. I would definitely put it in raw. Again, it's probably yes the other four rangers out that are not human that within their ranger mode looks weird, but I still appreciate the season a lot overall, and I do like the concepts of what they're going for. So I'd have to put in raw.
Gotcha. Okay, so Zenkaiser will go into Raw. All right, next up we have Dawn Brothers. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Two CGI Rangers.
No, I was gonna say the two elephants in the room, or
Two
should I
elephants in the
say,
room. Two CGI
yeah,
Rangers. They, I don't want to say they feel out of place. Dawn Brothers is like there's okay. It's a show that's just so not out of pocket, but just so different. There's
no,
something
you can
about
say
it
out
that
of
make
pocket. You can
well,
say out of pocket.
out of pocket, but it also something about it that makes it work well. That's what I'm
Hmm.
saying. Because regardless of the story, I'm basically referring to the story itself. But like for the Ranger suits designs, of course, with the primary suits being, with Don Momotaro, Saru brother, and Oni sister. And then you have CGI suits for Kiji brother and Anui brother. It just again, I remember when those suits got revealed, and then seeing how pink and black were CGI. I'm just like, this feels. I mean, even in the show, they do get close up shots of actually having non C. They actually have designed suit, not being CGI. But I'm just like,
Hmm.
how? Why? It's just like I'm not. I'm wondering why didn't they go the non CGI route and when decided to do CGI instead? That's just the only thing that bugs me. But I do like how Saru Brother represents the gorilla with the fur and everything. Of course, Don Momotaro stands out the most with him representing a peach, Oni's sister being an Oni, and then I forgot to mention Don, shucks, Six
Don
Ranger.
Tor, the Six Ranger
Yes,
with
with
two
two,
personalities.
yeah, with
We
two
got
personalities. Don
we got
Toradora, and then
Don Dragoku.
there we go. I was like, how do you say his dragon mode? I like it. His suit designs was really, really good,
Yes.
really nice. I would put them in raw. It's like half of the Ranger suits are raw, and you have the two just being mid for.
Yeah. Which is crazy because again, as you said, it's like especially halfway through, there are suits that exist. Like, of course, there is a Kiji brother suit. They just, of course, have a different camera aspect to make him look tall. And there is the little stand-in Inu brother that's height correction. But then there's also the stage show version that is a proper suit, but with just giant Sonic hands and a giant helmet.
And a giant dog head.
Yeah, it's weird, but I personally have a big bias towards Don Brothers, and I really do like these suits a lot. Like even with the CGI, I like what they're going for. It's not the best CGI out there, like far from it. But I would say Raw definitely.
Got you. I know we have the Noto tribe in here. I'm like, should we even talk about them? I mean,
No, let's not. Let's not.
okay.
Let's just stick to the core.
Okay, next. Okay, now we have King Oger. First bug themed suits.
Yes.
I think they knocked it out the park with these, especially with spider kimonos. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
With
and let's just bring up the first time in a long time that the sixth ranger always for a long time followed a certain quota, and you can make this meme from freaking Kamen Rider Psycho from Saber: gold or silver.
First time in a while we had a white ranger as a sixth ranger. God, that was
like first time in a long time.
I love it.
Mhm.
Okay, so I love the bug theme aspect on these suits. I know they're more for there's the sword is there more for it's kind of the same thing with the ninja. But yeah, the bug design looks amazing. Like with a stag beetle, a praying mantis, a bee, a dragonfly, a butterfly, and then a spider for a spider come up. It looks they made it work. I got it. These suits are raw for me. What would you put the King Ultra suits?
Oh no, these are definitely no, not raw for me. These are goated. I
Oh,
actually like the King Ultra suits. From the moment I saw them, I really, really liked their design. Every single one of them, even Kuwagata, even though it's a repaint of
yeah,
red,
just
but still,
a silver
still,
repaint
yeah, but still, it's like
Kuwagata Ultra.
I like each because these feel like a proper for both the world that King Ultra takes place in, but just everything about it I like. I like the bug aesthetic that they go for, especially within the helmets. I really love the helmets. Popula pop. I can't look. It's been
Papillon.
2 years and I can't Populon Ultra thing. It's been 2 years and I can't pronounce it anymore. But our purple ranger here, first purple within the main five initially
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Mm-hmm.
Probably my favorites. And again, it's like all the aesthetics of King Oger, especially the suits, I really like. Yes, maybe you could have had like a darker or lighter shade of their primary color within like the parts that weren't armored, but otherwise, these are goated for me.
I agree. I definitely agree. All right, next up we have the most recent concluded show, Boom Boonger. I was hesitant on these suits because I did not like the helmets. I really did not like the helmets. I'm being very honest. I did not like those helmets. But over time, they start to grow on me. The helmets start to grow on me, especially with how simple the suits were. And I think it's because once you watch those first 7 episodes of how the team comes together, the helmet design just basically just go out the window for you, and then you just be like, you know what? The tires on the back, the tires on the heels of the shoes. I'm just like, okay, this works. This works. The Boom Boonger suits are raw for me, straight up. Not goated, but yeah, definitely raw.
Yeah, no, they're definitely look. I get it. When these suits first got when they first officially got revealed, at least the core three at the time, and everyone was just going, exactly how they say it in the show, tire people,
Yep.
tire faces. Like it was weird because it's like the main bodysuit is not bad whatsoever. It is a good mixture of their primary color with whites. It looks like a racer suit that you would see, in NASCAR almost. Like it really works there. The helmets, I understand is weird, but when you look at the show and look how they incorporate these helmets, mostly the ones on their soles and the ones on their back, but still, when you see how these are incorporated, you get used to the helmet over time. I think my least favorite, sadly, has to be Boone Violet, but still, it's like,
oh, you don't like the pit crew type
no,
of suit?
no. Suit wise, I like. Helmet, I don't like really.
I got you.
Yeah,
But yeah, these
but
suits
it's like,
are definitely raw for sure.
yeah, definitely.
And now we get to our current Sentai season, the Gozyuger suits. Can we just talk about how the gold just oozes off of these
Yes,
suits from the
yes.
shoulders to the claws to the helmets? I'm just like, these suits are freaking raw. Not
Mm-hmm.
golded, but like they are freaking raw. And granted, at the
Yeah.
time of this recording, there is no Sixth Ranger yet. The show's definitely right now is on its third episode at this point. But
Second.
these second episode. But yeah, these suits are freaking raw. I think once I saw like the claws and just the gold design, the gold trims on the helmets itself and on the shoulders, it looks great. And even with the chest piece, it looks great. Absolutely looks great.
Yeah. No, I really like these suits a lot. I feel like my only nitpick has to be with Gozyuger. I feel I wish the blue was a little bit brighter to contrast with the other color basically being black. Because it's like, again, when you got like say Goju Unicorn, hers is full on black with maybe tiny bits of gray, but it's like the outline is pink instead of the usual gold. So that makes her stand out. But with him, his blue is dark and you can't really, it almost looks black in some instances. So I just wish it was a little bit brighter, of a brighter blue. But other than that, I really like the Gozyuger suits. I've liked them since the moment that we first got our look at them. I love just a lot. I love the changer. I love the colors. I love how each animal, well, each animal and mystical animal is like, or ancient animal is perfectly represented, especially within the helmet. I really like the helmets within this. Goju Wolf having to be my favorite.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, there's just a lot to like with what we got with our current season. It's not goated, but I feel like it definitely could. Yeah, it's too early to call it goated.
Yeah,
yet, but
the show just recently just started.
Yeah, but I feel like honestly, with the pace it's going at right now, and once we see what our sixth ranger looks like as well, we only got rumors of him right now, but it's like once we see what he looks like, I feel like it could move up to raw. I mean, up to goated. We just got to see.
Yeah. But anyway, folks, that is our rating of all the Super Sentai suits. Like you said, here's our GOAT tier. Of course, we have a lot more in the raw category. Have only 2 bad ones and a few average ones. But like I said, we got more raw ones than we do have some in GOAT. But in the comment section below, tell me, what did you guys think? I mean, what do you guys think? What are some of your favorite Sentai suit designs? Did you feel like we need to move some up a bit or move some down a bit? Let us know in the comment section below. And in the meantime, JKing, where can everybody find you?
You guys can, of course, find me on the Jedi Mike 7 movie news channel. You can also find me on Team JVS as well. Probably very soon. Who knows? You know, maybe there's something that will have us be born again. But you know, who knows? Who knows? But you guys could definitely find me there. You know, yeah, basically. And here.
And yes, you may start to see JKing's face here a little more often now, but who's to say? You never know. Surprises will be surprises. But anyway, folks, I appreciate you guys being here. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and click that bell to be notified. Follow me on all my socials. I'll be leaving the description to where you can find JKing in the description bar below as well. But as always, I am Vengeance. I am Darkness. I am Blackwing. Stay golden. First time I ever tripped on my